is led by Mark Katsonga Phiri, who has also served as Malawi's former Minister of Trade and Industry. For more on the party's campaign, we're now joined on the line by Wellington Chatepa, the Secretary General for the People's Progressive Movement, or PPM Party, a political party in Malawi. Wellington, thank you for joining us and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Sandra.
The People's Progressive Movement, or PPM, has under its campaign titled Voice of Reason and Hope for a Better Malawi, wanting to shift towards Malawi being seen from a poor country to that of opportunities for sustainable growth, particularly economically. Talk to us more about this campaign.
Yes, our campaign is based on the position in Malawi has in the ranking of poor and rich countries in the world. And for a long, long time, Malawi has been locked down to one of the poorest countries in the world, about number 5 or so, which is quite a tragedy. So we're saying all this is because of our political approach to governance. You see, Malawi is actually endowed with a lot of resources, which, when properly used, the financial or the wealth creation would be, much better than it is now. So, in our voice of reason, we're trying to bring this to the fore, to the people, to realize why we are poor and how we can get out of this. And indeed, the voice of reason is addressing that one from all angles of governance, as well as how to make money and all that.
Leader of the party, Mark Katsonga Phiri, is a former Minister of Trade and Industry in Malawi. We mentioned in our introduction there. What sort of experience does he bring into this campaign in ensuring its viability?
A lot of ideas indeed. Well, before he became a politician, Mark is actually a very successful business person. He's an industrialist. He has created a number of factories and done a lot in the transportation, what have you. And he thought maybe with that knowledge and experience, he could come and join politics to change things. He managed for a while, because he's been a parliamentarian for some time now, but the system is not so friendly to him and other people like him. All the same, you've asked me about how what is our voice of reason. This voice of reason is something we crafted as a party to show Malawians that we can do much better than this. So in that one, we actually put together the type of resources we have in Malawi, but completely underutilized. One of them is our lake. It's the biggest freshwater lake in Southern Africa, with a lot of good fish, which is sought after by many, many people, even across Africa. But we are not there, to utilize those resources. We also have very good forests. We have even the mineral deposits, which are confirmed by our geological service, but nothing is happening. What happens is people come from other countries under the guise of trying to help us, but they end up take samples, what have you, and never come back with results. But what we're saying is, why can't we do our own, consult the right people, and exploit these mineral deposits? Secondly, we're also talking about agriculture. We're quite very good in agriculture in the past decades, but now everything has gone haywire because we don't have the people to do this, to lead in the utilization of agriculture. We need mechanization. We need to beat the like we had some cyclones, what have you. Sometimes we also have droughts, but all that can be controlled. So in that voice of reason, we're saying we can find answers to all these problems. Right now, we are grappling with famine, some are in food shortages in the villages, and yet Malamians are so hard workers, and we wonder why we cannot do this. So our strength in the voice of reason is we can turn this around.
Let's paint a backdrop a bit with the People's Progressive Movement, PPM. It was part of the 2004 Girizano coalition. They won 27 out of 194 seats in that 20 May 2004 election. There was disharmony, however, about the presidency of Binguwa Mutharika. Would this stint be seen as some form of progress for the political party landscape in Malawi in terms of democracy and different voices being heard? Or are there political divisions in the country that could hinder democracy efforts?
Well, the diversity of political parties is part of the democracy itself. And we're saying it's good we have so many people, vying for the presidency and other positions in Malawi. So that should not be something to hinder, but rather to improve the democracy. And in this case, we're talking about 17 candidates that are competing for the presidency. We may laugh at that as saying too many people, but it's important so that we see the best and then pick them. As for coalitions, yes, we're in the what do you call? We started with the Guizano coalition. It didn't work so well, and now we also went into the current coalition, which is Tonse Alliance. That one, yes, it started so well, and that's where Katsonga was taken as our Minister of Trade. But we have a weakness in the formation of coalitions. PPM is gunning for a review of how coalitions can come into place. We feel we need a legal backing. See, people just come together and say, we want, let's come together just to achieve one simple goal, but without any legal protection. So we're gunning for our legal system, our parliamentary system to come and come up with a way we can be protected. Once you want to make a coalition, everybody must know, and there must be a legal protection which can help you, because like what happened in the current Tons Alliance, after winning everything, the president and his party just disappeared and started doing things on their own. And even Katsonga was actually dismissed unceremoniously without any explanation. So we feel we need a proper procedure to do these coalitions. But it's a good idea. Yeah, thank you.
And what were the positives for the party in that 2020 Tonse alliance in support of Lazarus Chakwera? He got 59% of the votes against Peter Mutharika's Democratic Progressive Party, or DPP's 39.9%. How did the PPM see this as a success? How was it able to come back stronger and better than the 2004 coalition?
Yes, it started quite well, like as I've just alluded to, that he was actually appointed as a minister in Chakwera's cabinet, but later, without any explanation, he got fired. Well, that is to do with our president and the ministerial position, but definitely The programs for development in Malawi, there was no consultation at all between between the MCP and the rest of the members of the coalition, which was called Trans Alliance. There were 9 parties, but there was no consultation at all. So that one, reduced the hopes of the effectiveness of this coalition. So right now, since this is the first phase of elections, we're going everyone on his own and to see what happens after the results. Maybe if the results, come up with a tie, we may think of, joining others and then work together and see who can win. But as of now, we have actually come up with a partnership, a working partnership with the UTM, United Transformation Movement, which was led by the former Vice President South Chilima, but now it is being led by Dalitsoka, who has a very good background in the economic management because his basic education is in economics, and he was so good to the extent that he even rose to the rank of budget director for government, and he went again to become at his epitome, he became the governor of the Reserve Bank of Malawi, and he has got so many ideas. The beauty is his manifesto is very close to ours. I mean, you can compare them. We're talking about, oneness and sense of direction in everything we do. So, talking about coalition, as of now, the one we have as a partner is Dalitsoka and his UTM. Thank you.
Elections in Malawi operate on a 2-round system from that former first past the post system. How has this shift helped, particularly on tackling corruption concerns, achieving transparency and reform?
It has done a lot in achieving transparency and reform because once somebody doesn't care about the people, about the transparency, they meet the judge at an hour like this one. Right now, Chakwera is in problems. He's going all over the country trying to woo people to elect him again. But that one doesn't seem to work so well. So we're saying these coalitions are good and important, but we must, as I said earlier, we must bring in a legal backing to make them more effective and to give you some confidence as you go through the coalition.
At the core of Malawi's economic development is agriculture. 80% of the population is employed by this sector, and part of PPM's campaign touches on this. You did mention that agriculture is a focus area. Pricing within the agricultural sector has been wherein a lot of challenges lie in Malawi. How can this be improved, and what should long-term goals include for this sector, for this particular issue to be addressed, as well as maybe other issues?
Yes, we need to bang heads and come together and see how we can improve it. Because right now, we're depending so much on smallholder farming, which are small farmers scattered all over, but with very low production. We have this what we call AIP, or it's a subsidy program for farmers who get fertilizers at lower prices, seeds at lower prices, and even pesticides. All this, it's not working well because we spend billions of dollars in distributing the inputs, but within the year again, we come back, spending more to give them food, you see, which means it's not working. So we need something more tangible. And that something can come in if we plan properly. there's a program for mega farms. See, the mega farms is a good idea, but the way it's being done right now is not so good. So PPM will actually concentrate in the rural farmer, equip him with everything he needs, and then see where to market the stuff, and indeed even preservation for sustainability. So we're saying there's a lot we can do in improving agriculture, but definitely the very end must be to develop big farmers who must feed Malawi.
Wellington, we're going to leave it there for now, and we thank you so much again for your time. We appreciate it here as Channel Africa.
Oh, thank you very much. This has been a good time for me and the PPM. Thank you.
Great. Wellington Chatepa is the Secretary General for the People's Progressive